Football, and it just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
It really does, especially if you're on the winning side of most of these high school football games. Week 3 of Pret football in the Carolinas, and one of the big stories, one of a man who is going home. Question is, can you go home again, and more importantly, can you win when you do? Well, it was Danny Shook leading his West Henderson Falcons to his old school Pisgah against a former West High coach, Carol Wright. A lot of interesting angles in this game. Now, Wright's Pisgah Bears looking to go up 3-0 on the season, hosting the West Henderson Falcons. Bears quarterback Skipper Cannon with a nice fake inside. The fullback keeps it and cups up field to the 1-yard line. 2 plays later, Rod Brandt follows his blockers up front, slams in with 10:43 still to go in the first half, and the Bears leading at that point 7-0. Next possession for Pisgah. Watch Brandt in the great run, and believe it or not, he's finally hauled down on this thing. Actually, he's run out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, but they bring it all back. It goes for naught because there was a clipping penalty on the play. And later on, they would score another touchdown in the first half, giving them a 13-0 lead, as Brent Wooten would score an interception return here, give them a 13-0 lead. That would be the final score as the Bears go to 3-0 now, scoring that victory over West Henderson. Another interesting story in
the annual slugfest between Pisgah and Tuscola. Although this game earlier than usual on the schedule, it's still a season maker for both teams. Hicks Neal tells us who won the bragging rights for this season.
The Tuscola Mountaineers are flying high, and for good reason. Last week's big win over Brevard had the boys in black fired up for rival Pisgah. After a scoreless first quarter, return man Kenneth Jackson takes a Bears punt and dashes 74 yards to the end zone. 7-0 Mountaineers. Let's go to the fourth. Tuscola up 10-3, and Pisgah quarterback Skipper Cannon's pass is snagged by defensive back Larry Gray, who returns it to the Bears 6-yard line. 3 plays later, Mountaineer QB Chris Rich hits the jackpot, and that's the ball game. Tuscola winning it 17-3. Both schools are now 3-1. Hicks Neal, News 13 Sports.
Now we go to Cherokee. Taylor has the highlights.
Had an 0-1 surprise tonight. Swain coming out throwing the ball. Heath Schuler on the pass to Dwight Winchester. Winchester with a great moves. Once he gets hold of the ball, he goes 75 yards. He's finally brought down at the 1-yard line. And the very next play, Chris Hyatt would burst over from the 1, and that would put them up 7-0. They would lead 14-3 before Pisgah finally breaks into the end zone. They do so when Skipper Cannon finds Jeff King on the 25-yard touchdown pass. That cut the deficit to 14-10. Just before the half, Schuler, who can run as well as throw, as you can see here on the option, a keeper, he'll go 86 yards. He's touched but never brought down. The touchdown put them up 21-10 at the half. In the second half, Pisgah with 2 touchdowns quickly. This one put them up 24-21 as Sean Bryson bursts in from the 1-yard line. Swain coming right back. Hyatt, a 42-yard touchdown run with 6:24 to go in the game. His 3rd touchdown. The extra point was no good, and they led it 27-24. The Swain defense then got tough, as you can see here on this stick by Schuler, but then Brent Wooten getting loose in the secondary. 41-yard touchdown, 31-27 with 3:31 left in the game, but this one is still far from over. Schuler back to pass. His throw is intercepted by Wooten inside the 10-yard line. That's the game. Wooten's got to be the hero tonight as the Pisgah Black Bears 31-27, a dramatic come from behind win in Canton. Keith Taylor, News 13 Sports.
All right, another area whack opener for Pisgah and Brevard. The loser would be looking up in the standings the rest of the season, and with Smoky Mountain looking extremely strong, the loser could be out of a playoff spot. Hicks Neal tells us which team got off on the right foot toward postseason play.
At 2-3, Brevard was looking to knock 4-1 Pisgah down a notch or 2. The first quarter saw the Devils going to the air more than usual, but Frank Robinson's team couldn't find the end zone. In the second, the Bears generating some offense. Watch the second and third efforts by Jeff King on the screen pass. Pisgah getting a leg up a little later on. Skipper Cannon's 43-yard field goal, good. 3-zip Bears. Pisgah now threatening late, 5 seconds left in the half. Devils buckling up though, stopping Cannon at the 4. Third quarter play was topsy-turvy, and check this out. Pisgah on the fake field goal attempt. Cannon tosses it to Jeff King, who tips it, and Sean Bryson almost comes up with it. Nice try. Next play, Devil QB Ryan Whitmire on the bad pitch, and King gobbles it up. Isn't football a funny game? On the very next play, Bryson coughs it up and Robbie Andrews pounces on it for the touchback. No damage done, 3-0 after 3. 8:17 left in the fourth. Brevard's Whitmire finds Raymond Green on the 31-yard aerial score, 7-3, Blue Devils celebrating. But the Bears march back. Pisgah QB Cannon, capping a 6-play drive, dashes 9 yards for pay dirt. That's your final as Pisgah clip Brevard 10-7. Bears go to 5-1 on the year. Devils drop to 2-4.
Tonight, surprising Rob with a good shot at the playoffs. Keith Taylor has highlights in this key contest in the WAC 3A.
Rule rather than the exception in tonight's first half. The Rams an apparent touchdown here as Steve Lynn finds Charles Harbison open for the touchdown, but a flag was down and Pisgah's defense would eventually hold. Now the Bears would get on the board, taking advantage of some terrific running by Rod Brandt as he keeps his balance for 22 yards to the 7-yard line. Then it's Brandt again, capping the drive on this tough 7-yard run. 7-zip Bears. Robertson knotting the game at 7 in the second quarter. Chris Jones going to the far side, goes 22 yards into the end zone, and we're tied at the half at 7. Pisgah coach Carroll Wright squad a different group in the second half. Brandt with his second of 3 touchdown runs, this one from 4 yards out, and it's 14-7. Brandt bullying his way in again near the end of the third quarter, off tackle this time. The try for 2 was good, and it's now 22-7. In the fourth quarter, Brian Davis showing the same form as Brandt. He would score, the Black Bears living up to their top 10 reputation as Pisgah led by 3 touchdowns. And the final score of the night put aboard by Derek Pace. The touchdown putting Pisgah up 34-7. That's the final. The Black Bears are now 3-0 in conference play, 7-1 overall. Keith Taylor, News 13 Sports.
Now the team that many feel could disputed MAC champion. Now Pisgah hoping to get a share of the title, but more importantly secure a playoff spot after losing the sure shot when Franklin beat them last week. Hicks Neal tells us which club achieves its goal tonight.
Carroll Wright wanted to quieten doubts about his Bears' chances of making the playoffs, but it's not easy trying to corral Babe Howell's Mustangs. Smoky Mountain using a little trickery. Eric Moore to Bernie Jackson, the halfback pass complete to Chas Mathis. Mustangs miss a 21-yard field goal, 0-0 in the one. With 2:21 left in the second quarter, Moore hits Mathis on a smooth 11-yard scoring toss. 7-0 Smoky Mountain. That's your halftime score. In the second half, Pisgah moving on his first possession. Skipper Cannon to Tony Fish. The 9-yard completion setting up Sean Bryson's 3-yard plunge. 7-all in the third. The momentum shifts as the Bear defense starts kicking the Mustangs offense, but never underestimate a mad stallion. Moore hits Mathis deep, and I mean deep. 70 yards and a touchdown. Smoky Mountain leads it 14-7. In the fourth, Moore again doing damage by air. This time, Tommy Bryson's the receiving end of a TD. 21-7, Stangs on top. The ball really starts bouncing long for Pisgah as Smoky Mountain's Tommy Bryson intercepts his second pass of the night, and Babe Howell's team is undefeated in 1989.
We know we've got a first-round playoff berth, and we play at home next week, and we're proud to represent the conference. We're proud to be a conference champion and proud to have an undefeated season.
The final score, Smoky Mountain 21, Pisgah 7. Mustangs are unblemished. Hicks Neal, News 13 Sports.
So that set up a very unusual cut off with a bang. Pisgah kicking off. Shelby's Darrell Davis receives the pigskin, but look what happens. Fumble! And there's Alan Jones of the Bears, picks it up, scoops it up, touchdown. Pisgah leads 7-0. Now into the second quarter, Shelby driving. Eric Littlejohn plunges in from a yard. PAT no good, 7-6 Pisgah. Still first half. Shelby strikes again. Quarterback Paul Jefford scrambles, gets out of the pocket. No one open, goes 16 yards, touchdown. 2-point conversions failed, 12-7 Golden Lions. 20 seconds left, first half. Pisgah, Sean Bryson dives in. He's in there, touchdown, 14-12 Pisgah at the half. But Shelby goes on in the second half to hold off Pisgah and win the game. A heartbreaking loss for the Bears. It was 18-17. Now let's run down. Trying to get 1990 off on the right foot. Pisgah hosting Kings Mountain. Coach Carroll Wright thinks his team is going to be better than last year's 8-4 mark. He hopes so. So do all the fans of the Bears. Watch what happens. They hold defensively early. Now Bears receiving the Mountaineers punt. Watch Brent Wooten. He takes it. He skips a tackle. Look at this. He goes outside. He's going to dip and go out again. Great block, too. He goes 17 yards. Puts his team in shape. 2:25 to go in the first. Watch Brandon Thomason. He's going to turn around, spin, get those legs moving, and go into the end zone. Touchdown. Pisgah leads it by a score of 7-0. And here's again Mr. Wooten takes it outside on the flat pass, and his team went on to win tonight over Kings Mountain by a score of 13-8. Each coach used to be the head man at the other school at one time, but tonight Carol Wright of Pisgah and Danny Shook of West could care less about Old Home Week. They were looking for a win. Kerry Kinsey tells us who left the West High field celebrating.
Pisgah at West Henderson. Falcons coach Danny Shook at one time coached Pisgah. And Pisgah coach Carol Wright was at West Henderson years back. First quarter, Pisgah's Brandon Thomason gets the corner there, reels off a bundle, and he is gone. Inside the 20-yard line, they drag him down. A couple of plays later, that sets up this. Brandon Thomason again gets the call, and it's 7-0 Bears with the lead. Pisgah led 13-0 when the Falcons finally answer with this 23-yard touchdown jaunt by Philip Keefe on fourth down. 13-7, Bears lead at the half. Now fourth quarter with less than 4 minutes left. Here's the game winner. West Henderson coughs up the football, and Pisgah's Shane Stockton does the rest. Pisgah beats West Henderson 20-7. The Bears move to 3-0 while the Falcons drop to 1-2. In Henderson County, Kerry Kinsey, News 13 Sports.
Pisgah, you say number 44, Sean with a big bat. Gets the pitch, bounces off one guy, touchdown, 7-0. Now watch this on the other side. Shows some quick feet. He gets a small hole coming at you. Just through there. Now he blows by one guy, touchdown, 14-0. This time quarterback Mike Deaton is going to catch a point made at 14-0. And Deaton is going to keep it. Skips in there. And he avoid tackle, touchdown, 20-0, point after no good. Brevard's Sam Young tries to rally his troops. He almost gets nailed here, but he scrambles right at you. Trevor Putnam finally puts the tackle on him to drive him out of bounds. But watch this play. Young is going to roll left. He's going to find J.J. Seibert. Look at the great catch right here. Seibert one-handed and bang, but he gets it, touchdown. However, is trying to regroup after losing his conference opener to Smoky Mountain, but they are facing a Pisgah Bear team that longs to the days when they brought state titles to Canton, and this year the Bears have a team that could change those dreams to reality. Kerry Kinsey is just getting back to Pisgah and North Buncombe.
North Buncombe at Pisgah pick it up in the first quarter. The Bears get good production out of number 44, Sean Bryson. Breaks off a little gainer here. Pisgah drives it 60 yards for their first score. Bryson doing the honors with some second effort. 7-0 Pisgah. Then early second quarter, Bryson gets the call, fumble, and the ball goes out of the end zone, but the ref says Bryson crossed the plane of the goal line first. 14-0 Bears. The Hawks get on the board just before the half. Jerry Robertson smells the goal line, makes it 14-6. But the Bears win this one final. Pisgah 21, North Buncombe 6. Hawks go to 4-3. Bears are now 6-1. In Canton, Kerry Kinsey, News.
Robertson's Andrew Armstrong punts to Brent Wooten. Watch this. It bounces around. Look at this as he takes on the hop. Great wall. Perfect blocks. He's got nothing but white shirts with him, the escort. He goes all the way. Touchdown Pisgah. They lead it 7-0. Now Pisgah goes down into Robertson territory again. This time, oldest playing football. Mike Deaton coming at you. Quarterback sneak. Touchdown 14-0. But the Rams fight back. David Henderson, their fine running back, uses some speed and that ducking of the shoulder as the Pisgah defense gets signaled in. Look at this pitch, though, and look at the play by Henderson. Dips out, cuts in, bounces outside. He's finally knocked down at about the 12-yard line. Then Dean Roberts is going to finish off the drive, crashing over for 6, point after no good. But tonight it was too much Pisgah, 41-13. A Smoky Mountain, the scenario, a Pisgah win and Smoky Mountain eliminated from the playoffs. A Smoky Mountain win, and there's a distinct possibility of a three-way tie for the WAC 3A crown and a coin flip to decide on 2 playoff teams. Kerry Kinsey tells us which scenario fit tonight.
Pisgah at Smoky Mountain, no score until late in the first quarter when Pisgah's money man, Sean Bryson, rips off one for 49 yards. The Bears lead 7-0. Second quarter, the Mustangs turn it over. Smoky Mountain's Nathan Fisher coughs up the football. A few plays later, it's Sean Bryson again, this time on the pitch from Mike Deaton, and he rumbles 42 yards for his second score of the night. 14-0 Bears. Just before the half, the Mustangs are driving, and here's what happens when you have the photographer eligible play. A couple of plays later, John Hill scores. It's 14-6 Pisgah, leading at the half. Second half, Sean Bryson again, this time from the 2-yard line. Bears lead 21-6. Still third quarter, it's 28-6 when Pisgah quarterback Mike Deaton burns off a bundle. Watch him go. 59 yards. Pisgah goes on to beat Smoky Mountain 49-6. The Bears are in the playoffs. The Mustangs are not.
Well, I guess there's lack of preparation, and they did a real good job running their option tonight.
It feels great. It feels great. It's a great feeling. I love it.
Things just broke our way, and they had a lot of difficult plays, the things that went against them, and they got a little down, I guess. That's the way things go.
In Silva, Kerry Kinsey, News 13 Sports.
Rundown winners coming up in sports. Ranked Black Bears hosting South Ira and looking for more here in the second quarter. Shane's front of the pass, 22 yards and just a few. The Bears get on the board. Mike Deaton drops back. He'll throw to Brentwood. Pisgah, 7-3 Black Bears at the half. Second half, it was all Pisgah. Sean Bryce, big bruiser, trotting it here. 13-3, the Bears leading there. They had another score late, but the Vikings weren't through yet, or were they? Watch the pass here, picked off by Spencer Reeves. He had the interception. Pisgah gets the win, 20-6 over South Iredale.
Stars need to be
yesterday. I know it sounds like
Tonight, prep football won't crown its champs for a few weeks yet. One of the teams still in the running, the Pisgah Bears, the 6th-rated team in 3A. They look like a real threat to go all the way. Keith Taylor tells us Pisgah has good reason to be optimistic. These Bears have teeth.
Red left, 81 on set, 81 on set. Ready?
The Bears have been calling the right numbers all season long. They have a state ranking and 10 wins to show for it. Now Pisgah is setting their sights on a 3A state title. But first they have to get past the second round, which has been a stumbling block for the last 2 years.
One of our goals we set at the beginning of the year was to get past the second round of the playoffs. We want to pick up the intensity this year and just work hard and keep our goals in sight, and we'll go get it.
What's important is to keep pursuing the state championship, you know, and it's not so much getting past this round as it is advancing and keep staying in the hunt for the state championship.
A championship that Wright feels is within his team's grasp.
You never know what elements or what it's going to take to win a state, and you've got to have some luck and this sort of thing, but I think this football team can line up and play with any 3A team in the state.
Part of the reason may be attributable to this team's closeness.
Really, we're there for everyone. We pick each other up and we work really hard at what we do, and we just work harder than everybody else.
I believe everybody, no matter what we do, we hang in there together.
And that togetherness will certainly be tested tomorrow night by East Rutherford. From Canton, Keith Taylor, News 13 Sports.
And let's take a look at everybody that's playing for hoping to keep his title hopes of Rutherford County. 2 top 10 clubs, Pisgah at East Rutherford. It was packed there tonight in Rutherfordton, and the Cavs faithful love this watch. Play right here. Look at number 12. That is Maurice Wilkie. He rumbles in for the touchdown. As the band play, the score 7-0 Cavs, but visiting Pisgah Bears didn't come this far for nothing. Quarterback Mike Deaton, look at this tight spiral touchdown pass to Brad McAdams. It's tied at 7. But here they come again. Off tackle comes Robert Gray, and East goes ahead 14-7. In the waning seconds before the half, East tries to score again, but look what happens. Dennis Logan throws, but Jeremy Henson leaping INT. That ends the threat, but tonight East wins a thriller 21-20. Now in 3A, Concord at West Henderson. Concord, Scholar Athlete of the Week, a feature taped earlier today. Our News 13 Scholar Athlete of the Week for 6 o'clock, Brent Wooten of Pisgah High. Brent's a senior and was a starting wide receiver on the football team. He was also a safety on that team. Academically is where Brent really excels. He's a Moorhead Scholar nominee. He's been on student council the last 4 years, junior class president, editor of the school paper, a member of the National Honor Society, and he is in all honors courses. Congratulations, Brent, for the award.
Thank you, sir.
When did you decide that you realized that academics was just as important as on-the-field activities?
I guess when I started high school, I realized that I had to excel in academics if I wanted to make something of myself. I didn't, I have a dream of actually playing pro sports, but I didn't think it was my actual ticket to success. I wanted to be excellent in academics.
How hard is it to concentrate during the football season?
Well, of course, you have a lot of plays you have to memorize and various things, but if you just keep working at it, you can do both.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Well, we have another sad story from the high school ranks tonight. Brent's coach at Pisgah, Carol Wright, had tragedy strike yesterday. His wife, Joan, died of cancer. We extend our sympathies to Coach Wright and his family. After a story about a death, sports seems